The Prettiest Curse is the latest album from Hinds, and I'm very happy to have Anna join us from, I believe, Madrid. How are you?
Good, good. Not bad. I'm in Madrid. It's almost 40 degrees. Like you can even see my sweat in front of the camera. Like it's really, really hot.
Whenever I see you, I always see you glistening and glowing, so I don't even think it is sweat at all.
But it's not making me sweat.
Now, is
But
this
good.
your home? Is this where you've been in quarantine during this whole time?
Yeah, this is my living room. Actually, I'm gonna show you a little trick. I have my computer usually like facing the other way, but I just realized I have my laundry there. So
Hey,
yeah, I'm just chilling.
this is probably the cleanest room in the house, so I don't care if there's windows and stuff, but behind the camera, there's just a big pile over there
So
as well. So I'm right there with you. How have you been dealing with this whole situation? I know everybody handles it differently. I know, like Carlota, right? She just needs to go out. She's a very social person. How have you been dealing with all this?
I have like two different moments of the quarantine. Like the very first part, which was like proper lockdown, which I think it was like almost 3 months, like when we couldn't go out, couldn't see each other, couldn't see anyone. I was weirdly okay during that period. Obviously, like I'm lucky enough to not be alone. Like I could like I have like roommates and my boyfriend, and then my house is like pretty. It has light. It has a very very tiny balcony, but like you can step out there, which all these things in quarantine were like maximum luxury things. So I quite enjoyed it. Like I took it a little bit as a break, and like I did a lot of things. Luckily enough, like I'm pretty chill. Like I have a couple of friends and I'm seeing them, but like I trust them and I know they're the same. Obviously, I went to like a couple of parties, but when I say parties, literally like 10 people, all the people I trust, all the girls are in there, their boyfriends. So it's kind of like a pretty small circle. Um, so like I am careful, and I think it's very very important to be careful. But I haven't had to do something extreme because like I think my environments were pretty like safe. My parents are doctors too, so it's like I have it in me to be aware of what's right and what's wrong.
What was it like growing up with your parents being doctors? Did they have aspirations for you to join the medical field too?
Aspiration wise, not like I mean like obviously they expected me to like study like a career and have like a more average, not in a bad way, but just like average kind of work and career and stuff. But at the same time, they're very like arty themselves. Like they go every week to the opera, and like they go to the theater as well every weekend. Like they really like culture and stuff, and they go out and see stuff. So it wasn't like super scientific hate art kind of family. It was more like they just do that and stuff, and they never ever pressured me to study like anything scientific. Like my brother's an engineer, but not even anything to do with like medicine and stuff. They were just like doing whatever.
Wow, smart family you have there.
Except me. No, I'm kidding.
Ah, come on. But seriously, they're doctors and they're very successful. Your brother's an engineer, and so they see you playing rock and roll and you have all these other different types of non-traditional aspirations and stuff. So did they just dismiss it and say, you go have fun and eventually you're going to get your degree? Like how supportive were they?
They were pretty successful. Sorry, pretty supportive with me. Like, there was only one moment where they were like kind of like freaked out and were very scared. And that was when I told them I was quitting my career because I originally started. I did like 2 years and a half of my career. Well, I was studying like a double degree thing in how would you say like business management, like well business and advertising and PR. So like doing both at the same time. And so I first started saying like, hey, because we were touring already, like, I'm not going to do so many courses. I'm going to do a couple of more. And they were like, okay, because obviously the whole speech at the beginning was like, I can do both. I never thought we were going to be as successful to have to like choose in between them. All the success we had was abroad. Like it wasn't in Spain. So I had to basically convince them that we were having like a shot was offered to us and we were having success, like kind of like being like, this very big magazine called The Enemy had like a feature of it, and they were like, I don't know who The Enemy is, like it's just literally words for them. Like they had to go like blind with me and kind of like just trust that that I knew what I was doing, and that this was really like very hard for everyone to get this shot. But yeah, so there was like one day when they doubted, and then the day after, like they talked with me and they were like, listen, it's fine. Obviously the career, like I was still very young, so it was like, if this fails, you can still go back to, you know, kind of like, let's just try it and try it out if that's what you want to do.
Well, obviously it worked out. You guys have just released your third studio album, so congrats on that. That's a major accomplishment, The Prettiest Curse. So many great songs on there, and I've heard you describe the album as a pop album. But to me, you've always made catchy melodic music. So if we hear anything that may be different on this album is that you have more things to say, and you may have more instrumentation and things like that. So as you've gotten older and you have more experience with performing and writing songs, we're witnessing the next step, this growth of HINDS. It's like HINDS 2.0, we could call it.
Yeah, same. I mean, to be honest, though, that's one of those things that we said in an interview. Somehow it came out, and now everyone is just repeating it. And I'm just kind of like going along with it. And like, obviously, it is more pop, but I agree with you. Like, to me, it has been like, it wasn't a decision like, okay, we are gonna go pop. Like, not at all. It was more like, we want to play with production. I want to sing better, you know, like stupid things, but like I want to be able to sing in lower tones, because like if we always yell, then it always sounds like that, you know. And like I want to do like a little bit smoother sounds and with voice, with production. And like I started playing synths, so like obviously I want to start playing that, and if that, all those things together make it sound more round and more like I don't want, kind of like
it sounds
soft,
more full.
yeah, more full sound. Because yeah, I was gonna say soft, but I don't think it's a soft album either. Like I think it has a lot of yelling and energy and HINDS on it still. But yeah, I'm really proud of the album.
And one of the songs that really stuck out to me was Just Like Kids. I mean, there's not much to read into. You just tell it like it is, black and white, and just hitting hard at all those boys that dismissed you. Obviously, I'm sure you have frustrations, but to put it out in a song is a totally different thing.
Yeah. Yes, well, I'm really proud of those lyrics, because of kind of like the irony and humor they have to it. And like you were saying, I think that's totally something that couldn't have come earlier in time. Like obviously we could have addressed the subject, and we did in interviews, and like we always have been talking about it, but we never really like made it into art or like made it into a song. And I think we really like we have been able to take it with humor and kind of like be above the problem and not so angry, but just kind of like make fun of those people and that situation. After, you know, like being the third album, and after so many years of saying like a ridiculous pattern, that it seriously becomes funny because of how stupid and repetitive, and how everyone actually thinks, like all of those guys really think they're unique and special because of coming to you and kind of like making fun or saying that you don't know how to play. They actually think they are special, you know. When for us it's just kind of like seeing a movie like one more time, and like it happens so much that we even like now we use you know, because the song is called Just Like Kids Meow, so we use the meow as kind of like an adjective now. So we're like, oh no, he's doing a meow, you know, like, or like a verb. It's a verb now. It's an action. Like you're doing one of it, like because of how often it happens.
Well, thank you so much for doing this, Anna. I really appreciate it. Give my regards to the rest of the band. The Prettiest Curse is awesome, and take care of yourself. Hopefully we get to see you soon here in the States.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Seriously.